What up? What up? Let's see what this is sounding like. All right, we live. We live in here. How we doing today? We're gonna have a draft here in a little bit. We got a fantasy football draft for all my footballogists out there. If you guys seen the video, I'm excited for it, and I'm ready. I think that this could be good. It's gonna be great. I reached out to a lot of people on Twitter. I reached out to a lot of people on Facebook. Yeah, this is exciting. I'm pumped up for this draft. I think this is gonna be a good draft. I got a lot of people in here. Still got people messaging me. I need currently. We're gonna refresh this. I think. All right, my guy. My guy actually took up 2 spots, so I'm about to remove him. I'm about to remove one of his. So hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. Nice. I think we just got our last spot. Just in time. 1 second. Cool, thanks. 1 second. This is taking a little bit longer than I want. I was hoping to have all this done beforehand, but yeah, your boy's a procrastinator at the end of the day. When it's all said and done, I don't mean to be, but it's probably my worst trait. All right. So we got like 15 minutes until this draft kicks off, and I'm pumped. I'm excited. We got football tomorrow. Not next year. I promise I will be more punctual with this. I've literally been all over Twitter. I've been all over LinkedIn, Facebook, just trying to find people to actually join this draft. I'm excited for this draft. Um, that and then I'm just excited to talk football. Right? Like it's week 1 of the regular season. It's a year where we didn't even think football was going to happen. Give me a second, real quick. I got to remove this guy kicking people out. But in a year that we didn't even think we were going to have football, now we're looking to have. Okay, now I can't. I don't remember my own password. 1 second. This is getting out of control. All right, whatever. Cool. So, yeah, we're going to remove one. Can I remove manager? Okay, hopefully he can go in there and change that. Hopefully, praying. But anyways, like I was saying, yeah, week 1 football in a year that there was a lot of uncertainty, and a year that we thought that we wasn't even going to have sports in general, and so football's around the corner. We didn't get our preseason game. We definitely got to talk preseason football every week though. That was exciting for me, and I'm about to turn my phone off. Oh shit. Um, so in a year that we had a lot of uncertainty and everything, we got a chance to actually get football or get sports in general. Like we've had baseball, we've had golf, We've had basketball and the basketball playoffs, and it's been exciting. Honestly, I really, really excited and really, really pumped for what football is going to bring because I don't think people actually put enough respect on football and what it does for people as far as from a fan base and a fan perspective. Um, it does so much. At least for me, anyways. Like basketball is nice. Hockey's nice. We got golf. We got like a lot of sports out there that are nice. Don't get me wrong. They have some fan interaction, but there's nothing like football when it comes time for big plays to happen and big things to happen, where you're consistently in tune with the game at all times. And excuse me. So when it comes to baseball, when it comes to football, I feel like you're just consistently always in the game, and you always consistently have something to root for. And then your teams, like I don't know, it just when it comes to football, it's exciting. It's just purposeful. Like I said, I'm biased when it comes to this. I'm extremely biased when it comes to this, but football's exciting. It doesn't give enough credit for how exciting it is and what it can do, just from a fan's perspective, or what it can do for fans. I think realistically, it gives people an opportunity to cheer for something consistently. And I know like some stadiums are having fans or a few fans in, but either way it goes, it's going to be exciting. I don't care. Just to watch some live action tackle football, I'm pumped. Sorry, like my thoughts are all over the place right now. Trying to do what I do every live stream, get my tweets out and whatnot. Can I get to it? There it is. All right, we're going to retweet this. Hashtag. Okay. So, without further ado, we're going to try to get this party started. I think the draft should be firing up here in a little bit. Like I said, I got a lot of people. I grabbed a lot of people from a lot of places, and places where I didn't expect people to. I didn't expect people to show up. I didn't expect people to do anything. But people came through. People definitely came through. People actually was like, yeah, excited to play. Okay, cool. So people are excited to play. People are excited to draft. And just like I told everybody that I messaged, every individual person that I messaged, thank you, and I appreciate it. Just because I wanted this draft to happen. And like I said, it was very last second, which, that's on me. I shouldn't do things last second, but I procrastinate so bad. But we're going to get into it here in a second. Cuckoo butter. Okay, all right. So we're live. We're live. We are live. We are ready. We are ready for this draft. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this draft is going to turn out. How's it going to turn out? And everyone that's going to be here. Like I said, I got a lot of people who joined from a lot of different places that I just was not ready for them. Like, I just wasn't expecting it, honestly. And I think my draft should be set up. It's telling me to schedule my draft. Okay, I swear I set all this up, like, before I went live. Now I'm doing this live. Excuse me, because your boy's, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Okay. Randomized 1 hour prior. Okay, save changes. So, we good? We good. I think we're good. Okay, there we go. Yep. The lobby just went live. Hopefully everyone shows up. We're about to do this. This is exciting. I'm excited for this. Like I said, everyone that's in this league, I'm not sure if any. I've tried to mention it to everybody, but everyone in this league, winner takes all. It's gonna be $50 cash, I guess you could say, but it's gonna be $50 cash to whoever wins, and that's just the way it works. So I want everybody to make sure they're participating. I'm gonna tell everybody right now. Winner takes all. $50 cash prize. So that's just how it works. And next year, hopefully we get more people. Hopefully we get some returning people, some returning contests or contestants. That's the word I'm looking for. But I'm pumped. I'm really pumped. I'm excited for this. I think that this is gonna be it's gonna be exciting. Definitely got some football nuts in here. That was my biggest thing. Like when I did this, I wanted to get as many football heads in here as I possibly could. People that knew what they were doing, knew what they were talking about, because it's all about that. It's like it's legitimately all about football for me. It's all about talking football. It's all about discussing football. And realistically, you guys know on this channel, one thing we talk about, if anything, we talk about is building a championship roster. And I think when you have an opportunity like this to build a championship roster through, I guess you could say fantasy, but when you have a chance to, build a championship roster like this, it just makes it that more exciting and more appealing, in my personal opinion. I'm gonna send this out to a couple of people just so they know we're live. So I think that's what, like I said, this is what it's all about for me. It's just that getting that opportunity to, once again, building a team out of nothing, right? And that's one thing we talk about. We always talk about rebuilding, and we always talk about coming in and moving players around, trading players, and all this. You have an opportunity to, like I said, I got as many football nuts as I possibly could. You have an opportunity now to showcase your football talent, your football knowledge. Really? But it gives you an opportunity to showcase your football, like I said, your football talent, your football knowledge, and see what you're really about. See if you are about that life, if you will. Give you just that opportunity to just say, I'm better football minded than you. And I'm really excited. Like I said, I wanted as many football minds as I possibly could. I wanted to get as many football minds as I possibly could, just because I wanted people in here who had an opportunity to out football me. And if you could, then so be it. I feel like you deserve $50. If you can put together a championship roster, you deserve that $50. And if you get that $50 from me, then it is what it is. Like, I'm not even mad at you at that point. I think you have an opportunity to, I guess you could say I'm better than Mike, better than the footballologist himself. Put that on your resume, because I really, I'm not gonna say I'm the best football mind, because there's so many other football minds out there, and there's so many other ways people look at the game compared to the way I look at the game, and I think that's really cool, because the way people want to build their teams and how the way people want to build their teams, I think that's important. This is exciting. This is just really exciting because, like I said, I went out of my way to try to find as many football-minded people as I possibly could for that specific reason, just to kind of push me and push my football knowledge. And now, looking where I'm picking at 10th overall, kind of sucks, but it's cool, though. Like, I'm still good with picking at the back end of the draft, because realistically, I still get those butt picks, essentially. And by getting those butt picks, it makes things a little bit easier, makes life a little bit easier. I gotta send out one more, and then we're done. I'm done looking at my phone. It's gonna be all 100% football. Like I said, I've been pretty much distracted with my phone this whole entire time, just because it's like, oh shit, hold on. Just because it's like I want to keep pushing out all this stuff as I possibly can, just to get as many people watching as I possibly can. But we're gonna talk Chiefs too. We're not here just to talk fantasy football. We're going to talk some Chiefs, Texans. You guys see the title. That's something I want to talk about too, and the way that game is going to match out. I think that game is going to be a quality game. Hopefully it's the game that the NFL is expecting, and I think it's hoping it's the game that everyone in the world and the NFL community is expecting. I think it's supposed to be a showcase of two quality quarterbacks, two quality young quarterbacks at that. A showcase of Bill O'Brien versus Andy Reid, and how you got two offensive-minded coaches. And really, Bill O'Brien is on a hot seat this year. Like, he has to prove a lot, especially when you go out and you say, I don't need DeAndre Hopkins anymore. Let me go get David Johnson, a running back that I feel like can really be utilized well within my system. Let me go get a whole bunch of speed on the outside and go get Brandon Cooks and just, blow the top off defenses. It's kind of it's kind of comical almost into a point where it feels like every team that played Kansas City last year has almost went out of their way. I mean, I'm not going to say went out of their way, but almost try to design their roster to look similar to Kansas City's roster. When you look at a guy like, look at what Bill O'Brien did while bringing in Brandon Cooks, when having Will Fuller there still, and I feel like they had one. I feel like they had one other speedster there, and I can't really think of his name now. But really, kind of living on the outside, it's almost like living through the three. So like everyone starts to build like the Warriors did. And it's like, oh well, we can play three ball too. And then one thing like I always preach is that you can play three ball, yes, with the Warriors, but the Warriors are more confident in their three balls falling than you are in your three balls falling. So eventually, you might go toe for toe, shot for shot with them for as long as you possibly can. But eventually, the Warriors will outshoot you. I mean, it's just what they do. They chuck up 50,000 plus threes a game, and they're gonna drop damn near all of them. Whereas you can chuck up the same amount of threes and miss. So bring that to football. Yeah, you can take as many 60-yard shots as you possibly can. Otherwise, you leave your quarterback exposed to getting sacks. You leave your quarterback exposed to overthrows and interceptions. Just because you can think you can, shoot the three ball, or in this case, take those 60-yard bomb shots, doesn't mean you should. Like, it's just, I think, like I said, everyone that went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs this year feel like they went out of their way to kind of adjust their roster to hopefully give themselves that same chance or that same idea to go out and, okay, now we can go out and go into a shootout with the Chiefs. And realistically, you don't want to get in a shootout with the Warriors just like you don't want to get in a shootout with the Chiefs. Like, it's just not something you want to do. It's not a good idea. I'm Skip Bayless. Chiefs will win. Chiefs just told you Houston was going to win. So it's gonna. I don't know. Tomorrow's game is gonna be lit. It's gonna be exciting, and I think for it to be the very, very first game of the season of any kind of NFL professional football, it makes it that much more nice. So it makes that much more intensity, I guess, because it's gonna be live. It's gonna be exciting. So like I said, we're gonna get into that some more. Definitely after this draft. We're going to talk about it throughout the draft and just talk about some players that are going in this draft. Having 12 people in here that I feel like have a good, solid idea of what's going to happen, or at least, I guess you could say football idea. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for that for sure. I think it's going to be exciting. Whew. Oh, man. Well, we got 30 seconds. I'm going to kick this show off. So I'm going to put it one more time so everybody knows. Winner takes all. $50 cash prize. So now hopefully everyone's seen that. We're missing Loogie Mob and my homies. I wonder where that dude's going to go.
Welcome to the best day of the year, draft day.
That is so loud in my ear. All right. Anyways, let's try to get this party started. Hopefully we got enough people in here. Hopefully everyone shows up. Yeah, I'm drafting right now. It's literally happening right now as we speak. Damn. Okay. I'm not going to lie. Not surprised, but damn, I'm surprised. Somebody literally just took Pat Mahomes number 1 overall. That's wild. That is wild. Okay. I guess that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing now. We're taking Pat Mahomes number 1 overall. Josh Jacobs number 3. Okay. This is crazy. The weight. Wow. Okay. I'm not judging. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of different there's football minds out there that just don't think like I think, that have a different way of going about things. So if this is the way they feel, that they want to build their roster, then so be it. Build your roster. This is crazy. Oh shit. We are all over the place out of the gate. I was not expecting that. I was not ready for that at all. At all. People okay. That's crazy. So we get Mahomes. McCaffrey, in every mock draft or any draft I've done thus far, McCaffrey's always been the number 1 overall pick. But for Mahomes to go number 1 overall just blows my mind. Literally blows my mind. I wonder if you've seen that Mahomes dude name and was like, okay. And I mean, when you pick a number one overall, you got to do those things because technically he doesn't pick again until late second. So that is almost justifiable if you want Patrick Mahomes that bad. Like I'm not picking again until late second. So I need to, I need to jump on it while I can jump on it. I need some water. That's what I need. I'm over coughing. All right, Saquon. You got Zeke. Oh, man. That's crazy. Mahomes number one overall. I'm still tripping off that. I'm going to be tripping on that for a while. So clearly, he's invested in tomorrow's game. Oh, shit. Okay. Bet. That is crazy. We're off to a good start, though, so far. So far, we're off to a good start. We'll see what happens here shortly. Oh, shit. Now we're stuck on the clock. That's what I was afraid of. Like, it sucks. I think that's one thing good about live drafts, though. It's like people are held accountable. Like, they're there and they're held accountable. And it's like, okay, now you're here now. You got to draft. You can't just run away from it. It was live. That's crazy. Okay. Anyways, we got Loogie Mob. I didn't think he was going to be back. Kamara. Homies. Is he live? No, he's not live. Okay. We're coming up on the clock, though, so that is good with me. The board is falling nicely, in my opinion, where I don't have to do too much. I think everything's going to fall to me. For some reason, I have an opportunity to get Michael Thomas, and I'm not sure if I really want to get Michael Thomas. Just for the simple fact, it kind of scares me. I can't. The last time I took a receiver early in the draft was Calvin Johnson, and ever since then I can't really justify it because it's like I could still get quality receivers in the 4th, 5th round. Can I auto pick? Because I don't think he's gonna be here. Let's see. Okay. Oh shit. We got auto pick again. Oh, let's see. Technical difficulties. Difficulty technicals. All right. Michael Thomas. That's cool. We're still in this. I'm looking at Miles Sanders. I think in most of my leagues I end up getting Saquon Barkley. Not surprised with that pick. But in most of my leagues I end up getting Saquon Barkley in the 1st round somehow. I think with this case, I'm going to go with Miles Sanders. I'm still a big Miles Sanders guy. I'm still high on him. I think I got him in damn near in almost all my leagues across the board. There's always one player I try to make try to have across all teams just because. Oh, shit. But it's always one player that I'm always trying to have across all teams. Just for a simple fact that I can actually have an opportunity to at least root for the same guy, like at least one guy. And Miles Sanders, for the most part, is on most of my teams, if not all my teams. I think he's on most of them, though. So Miles Sanders is my root guy for this year. Hopefully he doesn't let me down because if he does, I'm going to be in big trouble. Oh. Okay. Yeah, next year, your boy gotta go harder on this. Actually, you put some effort into this because I kind of just slapped something together with the hopes that it'll work. And it's kind of choppy right now, but next year for sure, 100%. So if you're seeing this and you want to join next year, definitely don't be afraid to go ahead and join, or go ahead and hit me up and let me know, and you can join. Hmm. Hold on. See. What you doing? Flight 29. Of course. Hold on. Oh, Cooper Cup in the first round. Not gonna say I'm mad about it. Just wasn't ready for it. All right, let's see what we got here. Where am I picking? Kind of will get Odell for real. I think we're just gonna go ahead and reach for David, just because I'm picking with those bud picks, and I gotta have David Johnson. David Johnson's another one of those guys that I just feel like I gotta have across all boards. He's just my go-to. He's my go-to running back. He's my go-to guy. I'm a huge David Johnson guy, and if he's not on my roster, I might cry. I might cry a little bit, just a little bit. All right. I'm excited for this for one reason though, is because I'm drafting with, so most of my drafts are Kansas City or local, and so I kind of have an idea because I draft with some of the same similar people for the most part. So the one thing about excited about this draft, if any, is that I get to draft with, for one, football like-minded, or not like-minded, but football-minded people, and so by drafting with them, it kind of gives me an opportunity to kind of test my football knowledge and really put my football knowledge out there. And then for two, it's fans of different teams. So I'm usually drafting with people that are Kansas City or local, like I said. And so they always consistently taking players that are in Kansas City, or they like taking players that are within Kansas City. So players in Kansas City kind of go a little bit higher than normal. And so what ended up happening is that now I find myself in a situation where it's like, shit, I know that player's going to go, that player's going to go. And then I don't know, I guess I adjust my draft accordingly because it's easier for me to draft against people that I know and who they want. But in this case, I know I got a couple of people that are Oakland fans in here, or sorry, Las Vegas fans in here. Maybe got a Niners fan in here. So I got people that are fans of like certain teams or a different variety of teams. I still got some Kansas City people in here for sure. Don't doubt that. But I still got some Kansas City people in here. But it just kind of gives me the idea, or like I said, it just kind of puts me up against people that I don't usually draft against. So it kind of changes my draft strategy too, and kind of puts me up against the wall. My phone is just going off when it drops. Try not to close these messages. There you go. All right. There we go. So, but yeah, like I said, it just kind of changes out my draft strategy for the most part too. I think one league, I was kind of mad because one league I actually I drafted. Well, for one, I missed my draft, which is it pissed me off for like 2 hours straight. But I wound up getting George Kittle, and I'm still trying to let go of George Kittle. Not that I hate George Kittle, just because I just feel like I can get more in return than having George Kittle on my roster. Having a guy like George Kittle, drafting George Kittle that high, I just can't justify me physically doing it that high because I feel like there's still a running back I can get, maybe a potential wide receiver that I feel like can get a little bit more targets. George Kittle is nice, don't get me wrong, but I'm not taking him in like the third or fourth round. Like, all right, I can wait for a tight end. Trust me, there's plenty of good tight ends. I feel like you can still get super late in the draft, so I'm not reaching for a tight end. What else I was gonna say? I was going to talk about something else, and I completely forgot. It skipped my mind. Oh, that's what it was, because I just clicked on it. The Chiefs and the Texans. So, the one thing that I'm interested to see in that game, so from a Kansas City standpoint, is our run defense. And I think with Bill O'Brien making the trade for David Johnson is going to be an emphasis on the run game. Wow, Lamar Jackson just went in the second round. Holy shit. I was not ready for that. Okay, but anyways. Damn, that blew my mind. So we got David Johnson going in the second round. We got David Johnson going up against the Chiefs' run defense, and that's one thing that a lot of people always gave Chiefs shit for last year was their run defense. It progressively got better over the course of time, especially in the AFC Championship game against Derrick Henry, who at the time was completely on fire. And so we have an opportunity now to see what that run defense looks like as far as, like, did it improve? Is it the same? Is it the same AFC Championship the same, or is it the same as like Week 1 Chiefs same? And I think that's going to be the biggest question, if not the only question for the Kansas City Chiefs, is that what is this defense going to look like? So what is this Kansas City Chiefs defense going to look like? Because that, once again, is our biggest Achilles heel still. Like, everyone keeps making the case that we returned 22 or is it like 20 of 22 starters, whatever, and all this stuff. It's like, that's exciting, but you have to understand, within those 20 to 22 starters, we still had a weak defense. So, excuse me. So we still have to understand that now we have to improve our defense. Even if it's from a technique standpoint or a scheme standpoint, we need to improve our run defense because teams are going to go back to that idea of run the ball, keep it away. Deshaun Watson just went in the third round. We literally have had a quarterback in every round of this draft. My mind is blown. And so it's one of those things where, like, now you have to put yourself in a perspective if you're the Chiefs that, okay, we know that teams are going to take the ball away from us by keeping it on the ground. We can't find ourselves in a situation where the ball's consistently on the ground. We got to get the ball back to Mahomes in that offense. Like, I preach this to people all the time. Doesn't matter how strong your weapon is if you can't aim it or if it's on the sideline. Like, yeah, we have a super strong and super talented offense. What good does it do sitting on the sideline drinking Gatorade or water or whatever the case may be? What good does that do? It doesn't score us points when it's sitting on the sideline. So you have to have a run defense that's really going to take things to the next level. And so that, from a Houston standpoint, we want to see that. What David Johnson is going to look like, and what their run defense or their run offense is going to look like, because I feel like Houston's run offense is going to be a big part of what they're going to do this year, both through Deshaun Watson's legs and David Johnson, and maybe even a little bit of Duke Johnson now. And then we still got reverses and things of that nature that we can run with a Brandon Cooks or a Will Fuller. And so now we really have to find ourselves in a situation. If you're Houston, how do we attack the Chiefs defense while still keeping Mahomes on the sideline? How do we win the time of possession? Like, you want to score, but you don't want to score too fast. And then you flip it and you look at the Chiefs offense. I think realistically, I can't say anything about the Chiefs offense. Maybe a little bit more balanced attack this year, but everybody would probably boo me for that if I say balanced attack, because everybody wants to see Mahomes throw it 50-plus times a game, just like they want to see Steph Curry shoot 43s a game. Like, you just want to see it happen. Like, forget the noise. Like, just take your shots. And so I think realistically, with all that happening, Mahomes is going to do what he does, and the Chiefs offense is going to do what it does. Like, it doesn't need improvement, and it doesn't have anything to prove on, because that's literally the strongest thing about our team. But then you look at it as what the Houston defense is going to look like, because if you're the Houston defense, now think about it, the Houston defense got completely embarrassed in the AFC divisional game last year. And so that's going to be something that if you're still a returning Houston defender, which I think they got a lot, or if not almost all their defenders coming back from last year. So if you're a returning defender, you're really going to have – Nick Chubb just went in the third round. Oh, my Lord. So if you're a Houston defender that's returning, you're already going to have in your mind that, okay, I have to be honest and I have to, like, do this and go back and watch that divisional game, as painful as it would be, how many points you gave up in the second half of that game. And it wasn't – I mean, realistically, it was all on their defense, wasn't it? Shit. I mean, they had their one special teams blunder, but that was about it. Like, that was really all of Houston's defense. And I think realistically that goes back to the Houston offense as well. Keeping the ball away from Patrick Mahomes is that maybe we don't score so quickly. Maybe we idle a little bit in between plays, even if we, it's first down going to the second down or second down going to the third down. We idle a little bit more just to chew as much clock as we possibly can, because we don't want them to have the ball with that much time on the clock. I think essentially I wouldn't be surprised if Houston came out and played the time of the possession game and played keep away. Like, Deshaun Watson has about 20 to 25 throws, not because he can't handle that, just because we want to win this ball game, and we know if we give it back to Pat Mahomes and that offense, they might fucking torch us. And that's just something you got to take into consideration if you're Houston at that point. And like I said, from the Kansas City standpoint, offensively they're going to do what they need to. From offensive standpoint, they're going to do what they need to, and they're going to be under control the whole time. Okay, I don't. All right, I just completely shot myself. My screen literally just completely shot itself. I was looking at Sutton. Let's go Cortland. Do we want Cortland Sutton or OBJ? Let's go Cortland Sutton. We're going Sutton. So I like Cortland Sutton. I think he's a solid number one receiver. With this next pick's going to be good. I think this next pick I'm going to go with a running back. I was on Twitter earlier when I was literally trying to put together this whole draft. I was talking to a guy. He's talking about Cam Akers and him being in with the Rams. And, I think he's going to be a quality runner. He looked pretty nice as a runner. I think they got a good deal, second-round pick on him. Like, they got a good deal with him and everything. And, from a fantasy perspective, they have him really ranked high for a rookie running back. And then so I was like, okay. I always based off of a team's depth chart, looks like. So if you're the number 2 running back, you're going to get some touches throughout the game. You're going to be, get your carries here and there, but nothing wild and wacky. If you're the third guy, can't wait to be undefeated this year. Let's do Le'Veon. Let's go Bell. I'm a Bell guy. This guy. What was I talking about? Shit, I got caught up in the chat. I forget. I lost my train of thought. I don't know how, but I did. But I was talking about Houston and the Chiefs. I was thinking about Houston and the Chiefs. Fuck, whatever. Anyway, Houston and the Chiefs kicking off the fucking season. kicking the season off. Damn it, that pisses me off. That really makes me mad. I don't know where my train of thought was. Jesus. Try not to multitask, I guess. But I think realistically, when it comes down to it all, if I had to pick a winner, it's probably gonna come down to that game, that type of game where it's gonna be last man with the ball wins. And realistically, it might be the Chiefs. I'm not even trying to sound biased right now, and that's why I'm really putting some thought into it. But I really feel like it's just gonna come down who has the ball last. Just for the simple fact, I think Houston's gonna play a keep away game, and one turnover for Houston can be deadly. And that's something that happened in the AFC divisional game, is that one turnover really took Houston really by storm. It hurt them so badly, and that's something that they couldn't overcome. And so playing keep away and playing safe ball, keeping Deshaun Watson at 20 to 25 throws won't hurt at all. it's gonna suck because you just paid him all this money to carry your team, which is really like when it comes down to it. Okay, they paid him like a 4-year extension for 160 mil. That's a lot of money to pay a manager. And I'm not saying Deshaun Watson's a game manager. I'm just saying for that game in that instance against Pat Mahomes, you would say I want to pit up my $100 million man against your $500 billion guy or $500 million guy or whatever the case may be. I want to put my young quarterback up against your young quarterback and now fight me. Like, I guarantee I got the better one of the two. And it's almost to the point where, like, Pat went before Deshaun, and it's almost to the point where Houston is like, oh, excuse me. I wonder if Houston would have actually went Pat. If they were both sitting there, who would Houston have picked? Like if you had your pick between, and I really felt like coming out that year, Deshaun Watson was the better quarterback. There was no knock against Pat Mahomes. He was just, I think everybody felt that he was just extremely raw. Extreme talent, extremely raw. And it's so funny because we've seen this happen before. And I think the one thing the NFL is really, I guess, accused of, or NFL could be accused of, if you will, is that they're always knee-jerk reactions. So if it failed once and that's it, like nobody's going back to it. Everybody runs away from it. Or a lot of times, if it fell once, some other team feels like they can be the exception. But with Pat Mahomes, he was a strong arm. He was a strong arm quarterback that they could flick of the wrist, 70 yards, no problem. And the last time we seen a guy with an arm that strong and that crazy was probably Matthew Stafford, I guess you could say. Jamarcus Russell was another case as well. But we've seen these quarterbacks with strong arms not take their game to the next level. They just be a strong arm quarterback. And so a lot of times the NFL gets burned once and they try to stay away from it. And I agree. There's some things that I can't condone as far as like it never pans out, it never works. Like the one time, one thing I was talking to my friends about was speedsters in the first round. And you look at guys like Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown is trying to break that mantra, I guess you say, or that stick. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for. God, I should have taken that. But he's trying to, the stigma, I think that's the word I'm looking for. But he's trying to break that, basically, for me anyways, because I feel like speedsters in the first round are quality. Like, there's guys that are taking tops off defenses that are considered speedsters that didn't go in the first round. But then you got guys like Philip Dorsett that went in the first round for the Colts, and look where he's at. Brandon Cooks is probably the exception, I guess you could say, in this matter. He won the first round. He's been consistently traded for a first-round pick every time he's been traded. So clearly he's doing something right. But I feel like he's just a speedster. There's that Yana. And then you got John Ross, who was a top 10 pick. He was a speedster who really didn't pan out. So, like, there's so many guys that are speedsters and so many guys that kind of try to consistently take tops off defenses that I feel like just doesn't pan out or who are not worth it. It makes no sense realistically at the end of the day to take a guy just because he ran a 4.3 in the first round. I mean, even if he ran a 4.2, I'm still not messing with him. Now, if he ran a 4.2 and he's like 6'3", we're talking at that point. Like, we might have to discuss some things. Regardless of what your college numbers look like, we might have to discuss some things. But I really feel like that a lot of times teams get caught up in a 40-yard dash, just like as fans do. Like, fans like the 40-yard dash just like the next people. And I think we get caught up in a 40-yard dash with the hopes that we find the next Calvin Johnson, or we find the next in this era, I guess you could say Tyreek Hill, or we find the next guy that can be that dynamic, consistent playmaker on the outside who just teams are afraid of. And I think making that same case, Tyreek Hill was a 5th-round pick. Tyler Lockett was a 3rd, 4th-round pick. I mean, there's guys who take tops off defense. I think, was T.Y. Hilton undrafted? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm kind of curious now. So there's guys that are consistently undrafted or consistently go late who are burners that don't cost you a first-round pick. Like if you're Cincinnati, they don't cost you a first-round pick. They don't cost you a top 10 pick or whatever the case may be, and then you're hoping and praying that he pans out. So, no, he was a 3rd-round pick. Okay, that still proves my point. T.Y. Hilton was a 3rd-round pick. So it's like you don't need to go get a speedster in the first round. Like, that's just not something you need to do. Okay, now I need to find my draft. But that's just not something you need to do. Like, you can stay away from speedsters. Now, like I said, if the man is 6'3", 6'4", running a 4.3, we might have to discuss some things. Like, we might have to talk about it. And I think it sucks because I'm going to say that's the exception because it's the prototypical receiver. But it kind of is the exception because now you're not a one-trick pony. If I can develop your route tree, now you can run in between the hashes, if you will. You can run those slants. You're bulky up. You're bigger and bulky. You can do some of those things. You can take those beatings. And you look at guys like DK Metcalf, who right now, I mean, a lot of people will probably consider him baby Julio, but that's only if he develops his route tree like Julio. Julio has developed his route tree. He's developed his feet. And if DK Metcalf can go to that standard and develop himself, we're live. Hold on one second. Julio and DK Metcalf. Just throwing that out there. Do I want to go Gibson? Hold on. I'm going to see if he stays there. I'm going to wait. I'm going to go with I just seen his goofy ass. Where he at? I literally just seen him. There he is. Oh my Lord. Okay. This man just like comes into my life and then disappears. There he is. Jesus. But DK Metcalf, if he could develop himself into that type of receiver, he will be a dangerous guy. He will be in the next line of receivers receivers that are big, fast, strong, too big, too fast, too strong. And Julio Jones is that guy. We were blessed with Calvin Johnson, then Julio Jones. Now it may be DK Metcalf. And if that's the case, then that's awesome. Like, keep developing your game. Just because you're big and fast doesn't mean that's the end of your game. That's the end of everything. Be big, fast, and strong, and still develop yourself as a receiver. And that's something that Julio Jones has done really well. That's something Calvin Johnson did really well. They developed themselves as a receiver. All right. So we got Gibson, and Gibson seems like a good pick. How many receivers I got? I got 2 receivers. Got 3 running backs. I think Gibson's going to be the exception here. I think we're going to go Gibson. And then we can come back and get a receiver. I got some receivers in mind, so we can definitely get away with Gibson right here. But yeah, like, don't just live off your God-given ability if you're DK Metcalf. Develop yourself, develop your game, and I think you'll be fine. And so I don't know, it's just going to be exciting to watch certain things, I guess, storylines pan out and play out this year. I think the biggest question, if anything, for me personally, I mean, I got a lot of them, but one of them, now that we're on the subject, is John Ross. Is John Ross going to pan out to be that receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals? Because now the Bengals have a quarterback. Not saying they didn't trust or love Andy Dalton. I mean, Andy Dalton had his ups and downs, but like Andy Dalton and Joe Burrow right now, I feel like where Andy Dalton was his best career in Cincy, I think Joe Burrow can like be right underneath that. Like, not quite underneath it, but right underneath it, and probably didn't have an opportunity to exceed that and be something solid for Cincinnati. I don't agree with them taking him in the first round, but I think I can see why they did it, just for the simple fact that he has the opportunity to kind of exceed what Andy Dalton put in place. And so if that's the case, if Joe Burrow comes out and he balls out like that, now we have an opportunity to say, okay, we have a quarterback. We got A.J. Green, who we know is a dynamic receiver. Now, one thing A.J. Green has not done in his career or throughout his career, he has not found himself in a situation where guys like DeAndre Hopkins or Larry Fitzgerald or some of the other prolific, Calvin Johnson even, or some of the other prolific receivers have consistently found themselves in situations where they're playing with different quarterbacks or multiple quarterbacks. He's been blessed to not be in that situation, but now he has a different quarterback. So now we're going to see if A.J. Green is good or if Andy Dalton was good. Like, it's going to be like, that's another question nobody's talking about either. You know what I mean? Andy Dalton is gone. So is A.J. Green that good? But then at the same time, we've seen Andy Dalton without A.J. We have not seen A.J. without Andy. So this is going to be good. It's going to be exciting, honestly, for that standpoint. So then we have that. And then we got Tyler Boyd there. And then we got, I think they cut Malone. Let's go look up Cincinnati's roster while we wait. But if I want to say they got Josh Malone there, but I'm not sure. But it's just like you have an opportunity to really, if you're John Ross, Okay, did I spell that wrong? I put bagels. There it is. But you have an opportunity for John Ross to really showcase yourself and like really put yourself out there and say, "Hey, I'm this receiver. I'm that good. I deserve to be a top 10 pick." Because you got a guy in Kansas City who's a 5th-round pick who can run just as fast, if not faster than you, outshowing you right now. And you got another guy in Cincinnati that was a fifth or 4th-round pick in Lockett, who's killing you too. And the biggest thing is it's not that John Ross is bad. We just don't know if he's good because he can't stay on the field. And I always hate that saying, like, when he's on the field, though, I bet when he's on the field, like, if you have to put that behind any person's name after saying their name, I can't say, oh, Mike is probably one of the best tight ends in a game when he's healthy. Like, if you have to finish any statement with when he's healthy, it automatically drops off and, like, pretty much kills anything you said from that point. Like, it literally destroys anything you said after that or before that because it's like, while you have T. Higgins. T. Higgins is there too. So they did get rid of Josh Malone. I thought I seen his name get released. So right now your top 3 receivers are A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, and John Ross. And then Autumn Tate. Autumn Tate was doing really good from last year. I thought he was going to actually show up. So, but like anyways, if you're Cincinnati, it's like John Ross, this is a make or break year for you. And I mean, A.J. Green's already put himself in that boat by not signing any contracts or anything with Cincy, saying, hey, I'm bet on myself this year. I'm healthy. I'm ready to roll. Let's go ahead and knock things out. So with A.J. Green and Tyler Boyd being out there, it's up to John Ross to, break the defense wide open because nobody's going to be paying attention to him. He probably won't make it out of week 1, like, truth be known. But we'll have to wait and see. We literally will just have to wait and see. What did the offensive line look like? They got Jonah Williams back this year, too. Jonah Williams was banged up, and that was pretty interesting. They got Bobby Hart at right tackle. Michael Johnson at guard, and then their center is Trey Hopkins. What? Billy Price got demoted to the 2? That is mind blowing. I thought Billy Price was definitely their starter. I felt like their run game was quality with Billy Price in the middle. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I wonder what happened there. Sam Hubert, Carlos Dunlap, Khalil Kareem. I'm trying to see if there's any names. Carl Lawson got demoted to the 2. That's mind-blowing. I did not see that coming at all. Jermaine Pratt was definitely a linebacker coming out. Excuse me. That came out last year. That I was excited for. I thought he was a really good linebacker. I've noticed this, and almost every team I've seen that I know for a fact run a 4-3. 6th draft coming up for me. 12 minutes. I force-fed myself some Mahomes last draft. Hello, dude. Lamar Jackson. That's insane. That's crazy. I don't know why I'm responding here. I'm alive. But, yeah, that's crazy. Pat Mahomes went number 1 overall in this draft, actually. And then Lamar Jackson went in the 2nd round at some point. And then Sean went in the 3rd round. Like, quarterbacks are the thing. But things I've noticed, because we're in a passing league now, what I was saying is teams that I know for a fact run a 4-3, they have listed their linebackers as 2. So you see here, they only got 2 linebackers, but then they got 3 corners. And so it's like a lot of teams are 100% nickel now. Like, that's just how we're going to show our lineup. We're going to show our lineup as a nickel lineup. I did not know they had Von Bell for some reason. I did not know that, and that kind of pisses me off. We're coming up. And so Cincinnati's another team that defensively, I'm not sure what the fuck they are now. Like, looking at that defensive roster, they got some pieces there that looks nice. Offensively, I don't know about that offensive line, but they clearly know something I don't. And so offensively, their line is still going to be sus. Quarterback play, hopefully it's up to par. Joe Burrow has an opportunity with a lot of weapons around him now to go out and be that guy. So, and then, like I said, John Ross is going to make it or break a year. He has to prove that he was worth the top 10 pick. And the fact that what's so crazy is that his speed has kept him employed. Like, let's be honest, his God-given ability has kept him employed. Because if that was any other receiver, he would have been traded, released, or cut by now. Like, I guess waived or whatever the case may be. But he would have been gone by now. And the fact that he was still there on that roster just to let you know that he still has speed. But if that man can't get it together, it's going to be a long career for him. Or, well, I guess you could say a short career technically, because I don't see any other team saying, okay, let's give you a try, and then they go out and give you a try, and then you end up pooping your pants, and it's gonna be all bad for business at that point. All right, let's see what else we got. So we got 4 running backs. So we got 4 running backs, 2 wide receivers. So let's dibble dabble into this receiving situation. Now I can go get Tyler Boyd. I've been getting AJ Green. I have an opportunity to get Tyler Boyd now. Debo Samuel's another good pickup right here too. I could justify Debo in my mind just because I feel like he has a little bit more ball situation or ball touches, if you will. Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna go Tyler Boyd just for a simple fact we need receivers. Our receiver situation is ass-tastic. Oh, 1 second. And so, our receiver situation is ass-tastic, so we definitely need to tighten that up. That's bad for business. But I got receivers in mind that are really hanging my hat on. Right now, I got 2 premier starters. I'm going to live through my backs, and I'm okay with that. Tyler Boyd is going to be definitely a solid receiver. Let's see. Is there a tight end still there? Who can we mess with the tight end situation? I'm not liking any of those. What quarter? What quarter? We're round win. So I'm going to be picking in the 8th round. This might be a chance to go quarterback. There's a lot of premium quarterbacks on the board. So remember, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, and Pat Mahomes went off the board early, super early, which is cool. Like I'm not knocking it. It is what it is. But at this point, it's like it kind of opens up the board for me to go get a premier quarterback still. Like I still have an opportunity to get an NFL starting caliber quarterback, a premier starting quarterback, and it's gonna be exciting. I'm really pumped. 1 second. So yeah, like I said, I still have an opportunity to get a premier quarterback right here, and I feel comfortable with that. And it's like have your pick of the litter. Which way do you want to go? And I still need to fix my receiver situation, which, like I said, still got some receivers in mind, and I'm gonna go tight end for sure. I'm gonna go tight end for sure when I get a chance to. Somebody took Justin Tucker. Fucking. All right, so we're gonna go and get our guy Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is my go-to quarterback for this year. Love me some Carson Wentz. I think I got him in almost every league for sure. Carson Wentz is my guy. He's just my quarterback of choice. Russell Wilson was my guy last year. Did me right. The rest of my team failed me. Russell literally carried my team like he was carrying Seattle as well. Dude was on fire, and I loved it. Okay. So, like I said, Russell Wilson was definitely carrying my team last year. That was something that I was really high on and excited for. And hopefully Carson Wentz can stay healthy this year. Like I said, if I got to put that behind his name, when he's healthy, if I got to say that, then it automatically, basically just writes off everything I said before that. It just doesn't count anymore. Because like I said, you say that behind anybody's name, that's how it works. Now, McCole Hardman is definitely an option right here. I've been kind of really feeling the McCole Hardman pickup, and I really don't mess with Chiefs players. I don't know why. Like Chiefs defense, I'll pick up, but I won't pick up Chiefs skill players. And I say that, and I'm with Mahomes. Just picked up McCole Hardman. That's okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. Like that's cool. We're good. We still got options. But yeah, I rarely pick up Chiefs players. I don't know why. I don't pick up skill positions. Maybe like Jamal Charles was probably one of my guys for sure. But defense, Chiefs defense, I would definitely pick up in a heartbeat. But other than that, I really don't mess with anybody else. Let's see what we got. So, weeks 9, 8, and 11 are my fucking heart attacks. Okay. Yep, 9, 8, and 11. I literally got nothing but 9, 8s, and 11s. That's fucking great. But that's cool, though. We still got some bodies out there that we want to go pick up. We're running into round 9. So we're going to look for some running backs. Do I want it? I'm trying to see if there's – I can't think of any other running back, like a sleeper pick running back. Antonio Gibson was my sleeper pick for the longest time, and then he got thrusted up really high because of everything that happened in Washington. So it's like, all right, that's cool. I respect that for sure. Okay. So I got one more sleeper running back that I want to go get. I think I might. I got Gibson though. I like Bryce Love. I really feel like Bryce Love might be that guy, and it might be a part of me talking just because I got him in one of my fantasy leagues, but he might be that guy. All right, we're gonna check out some wide receivers though, because there's still some wide receivers that I need to go pick up, and I need a tight end. Jesus, people, somebody tell me about this. I need a tight end. I need receivers. I need a team apparently. Jesus, defenses are flying right now. Well, I just seen the Colts. I've seen the Baltimore Ravens. Now the Saints. Some defenses are flying off the board right now. Josh Allen. Okay. So people are still getting quality players or quality quarterbacks right now, which is, like I said, I feel like it's a really good move personally. They're what? Yeah, I know. Yeah, my video lag. It's because my computer, it doesn't work really well. Gotta get a new computer. Like, my lag is real on my computer. And so I'm hoping eventually that I could definitely get a new one. But what I was saying, I definitely need tight end and I need a wide receiver because your boy is hurting. While we wait, it's gonna be a minute. So we'll go look up another roster. Let's go look up the Texans roster. Now the Texans, I think, because I can't even think who their number 3 receiver is there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and that kind of pisses me off because I really want to know who that number 3 guy is. That's weird. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, this game is gonna, like I was telling some people at work, this game is gonna sell itself. You don't have to sell. You legitimately don't have to try to sell this game because it will sell itself. It's guaranteed to sell itself on so many levels with so many narratives without unofficial depth chart bullshit. This shit's really official. Okay, so we got David Johnson, Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills, and Randall Cobb. God damn, I'm special. I am a special young person. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's not bad though. So with Brandon Cook's history kind of pisses me off though because we don't know what we're gonna get there. But Kenny Stills, I think being the number 3 option there is definitely solid. Kenny Stills is definitely a quality receiver. I feel like he's been a quality receiver since he's been in the league when he was with the Saints. And then we got Laremy Tunsil, left tackle, who they traded for. Max Scarping. Put a video out about that boy. I thought he was gonna play left tackle. I guess they liked him better at guard, which was, it's legit. Nick Martin at center, which I feel like is solid. Zach Fulton, an old Chiefs player, and then Titus Howard at tackle. So their offensive line. Now the thing that was hurting them last year. So for one, they went out and got Laremy Tunsil. 1 second, I think it might be coming up. Okay, no, not yet. So one thing is they went out and they got Laremy Tunsil in the trade last year, and so the one thing that was hurting that offensive line, if anything, was continuity. So once they built some continuity on that offensive line, I think you can see it kind of pick up late part of the season. But this game, I'm expecting this offensive line to play godlike. Max Scarping is definitely a solid pass protector who's playing guard. Like, that's legit, and especially when you're up against a team. That scared me. I was not ready for that. Especially when you're going up against a team like the Chiefs, when you have a guy like Chris Jones that can consistently dominate the interior of the offense, when you're going up against a guy like that, you want to have the best pass protection you could possibly have in the interior offensive line. Max Scarping, I feel like, was a quality pass protecting tackle that is now playing left guard. And so that's really going to open up things so much level. And he can move well. Like, the dude can move really well. I think his movement is very underrated and something that, like, obviously a lot of people don't talk about, probably outside of Houston. And so I think his movement is going to be really well. So screenplays and moving the offensive line definitely give you that ability with him and Lermy on the left side. And like I said, Nick Martin and Zach Fulton, I think, are really quality players too. Maybe Zach Fulton could be upgraded, but I don't know if they have anyone right now or even in mind that could upgrade him. But I definitely like that offensive line easily. Skill positions are up in the air just because D-Hop is not on the roster, and that kind of hurts us. So then we roll to their defensive side of the ball. Excuse me. So on the defensive side of the ball, we got J.J. Watt, which we already know what to expect from him. P.J. Hall was a guy that I felt like had a good, and Russ Blaylock, I thought was two people that I would see towards the starting lineup that you don't see there. So I'm not sure about their defensive front as far as their three-down linemen, but their linebackers are still going to be good this year. Brandon Scarlett, I don't know about Scarlett, but I like McKinney and I like Cunningham. I feel like that length and size that they got across the middle of their defense is literally unmatched, and that people – okay, this is going to go by fast. And so it's literally unmatched, and people have no idea about that length and size that they have across the middle. So we're going to go with Gesicki. And then our tight ends are set. I don't know why I went two tight ends, but I did. I went two tight ends. That's weird. Okay, so we're going to hold off on that. What round are we in? We're going until 11. All right, cool. So what we're going to do now, we're going to look at not quarterbacks, but we're going to look at receivers, see what the receivers are left. There's still some guys that I'm really high on that I know are fact on the board. I know for a fact they're on the board. Okay. But McKinney and Cunningham across the middle, I think, are two guys that are really quality and really solid that people don't give them credit for. That length that Houston has, or the length that Houston possessed across the middle, is something that people don't really talk about. And then Bradley Roby, who was a corner that I was really excited for when he was in Denver. Dude's still a solid corner. Gary Conley, I think, is a solid corner when he's healthy. You got to put that back there. You already know the deal. But when he's healthy, I feel like he's definitely a solid corner. And then Justin Reed and Eric Murray are two guys too. Lonnie Johnson had the task of locking down Travis Kelce, which for a while there he was doing his job, and then eventually the game went wild. And they still got Vernon Hargreaves. Like I said, a lot of these guys, really a majority of this defense returned from last season, from that AFC divisional game. So you know they got a really, really, really bitter taste in their mouth. The fact that Arrowhead is not going to be Arrowhead tomorrow really hurts me, because that game would be crazy loud. We're talking about banner dropping. We're talking about AFC divisional game. We've seen it all. Like, it's, whoo, that game will be packed and crazy. Right? That's I'm not reaching like that ever again. Oh, just had to. Oh yeah, I mean those guys are literally, and it's crazy because, I mean, Fantasy 101 tells you not to draft a quarterback right away. Like that's the insane part. Fantasy 101 says stay away from quarterback in the first couple of rounds. Fantasy 101 says you can get a quarterback in the later rounds. That's what Fantasy 101 tells you. But I don't know. Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes are just the exception, I guess you could say, at this point. And it blows my mind. Knowing how long I've been playing fantasy football for like 10 years now, and knowing that and been playing it for this long, it just blows my mind to see two quarterbacks being justifiably going in the first and second round, or in the first round respectively. Like, it blows my mind. It's so crazy. I don't know how we got here, but it works. All right, so that's the Houston roster. Like I said, defensively, I think they're just going to have a bitter taste in their mouth. I like their secondary. I like their middle linebackers. Not sure what their pass rush is going to look like. That's probably going to be the biggest thing that I think is going to hurt them, is that they don't have enough edge rush or enough pressure. But so they're probably going to have to do a lot of manufactured blitzes and manufactured rushes. And the thing about that is, if you don't get home when the quarterback is a quality quarterback, if you don't get home, you will be in trouble. Manufactured rushes are cute and okay, but they only work for so long. Like, if they get blocked up, or if a guy trips up, or if a guy misses a gap, or a guy misses a hole, that quarterback will torch you. Like, it will happen. There's been literally known for quarterbacks that want to be blitzed just because it takes people out of coverage and gives them opportunity to do something. It's going to be exciting. Like, it's just that. I think Houston, looking at this defensive front, not sure. I mean, J.J. Watt's going to do what J.J. does, but not sure where their pressure is going to come from. I think they're going to do a lot of manufactured blitzes, and that's just me. That's my opinion, and that's how I feel. Defensively or offensively, I think they're going to be fine. Their skill positions, certain players are going to wind up open, and when that happens, I think everything else is going to take care of itself. Kyle Waring, that dude is a Travis Kelce 2.0. I feel like he should be the starting tight end. Once again, my opinion, it probably doesn't matter to Houston, but it's cool though. I personally feel like Travis Kelce 2.0 is Kyle Waring, and the fact that man is the third string tight end blows my mind. Okay, so we're still waiting on a couple more people to draft. It's been a good draft so far though. It's been a really quality draft so far. We're gonna go over the Chiefs roster in a little bit. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go over the Chiefs roster like we did Houston's. But but it's been a quality draft thus far. I'm really excited with this draft. Carson Wentz and Miles Sanders. I always like to do a tag team double dual threat right there with the quarterback. Either go quarterback and running back or quarterback and receiver. Sometimes I preferably go quarterback and receiver, but I don't like any of the receivers in Philly, and I really wanted Carson Wentz this year. So I just stuck with Miles Sanders as my running back. So at this point, the offense, I am invested a good chunk into the Philly offense. A really good chunk. If you get a receiver, you're not that invested. You get a running back, your balls deep in that shit. Like you're in there. And then, so David Johnson, like I said, I feel like Houston's going to be a run heavy team, whereas Deshaun Watson, at least for this game tomorrow, is going to be between 20 and 25 throws, maybe push 30, but I think on a regular routine they're going to stick between 25 and 35 throws for him. I think they're going to try to keep his throws down and literally run through David Johnson and probably have everything go through David Johnson for the most part. Who's their third string running back? Because I don't see Duke Johnson. Did I close it already? I feel like I closed it already. No, it's right there. Okay. No, we'll just go see who their running back is. But I don't feel like Duke Johnson is always going to be the guy that's going to be able to spell David Johnson. And hopefully David Johnson can stay healthy because that's my dude. So Buddy Howell, Buddy Howell, that's how you say his name. 6'1", 218. He's a good size. So I mean, maybe he's the guy that comes in a couple of plays too here and there that we don't know about. So there's a lot of options, if you will, to what could happen for Houston in that run game. But like I said, I don't see Deshaun Watson throwing the ball that much this year for sure. So David Johnson, I feel like is a solid pick. Maybe I'm just trying to justify it in my mind, but I like David Johnson. Cortland Sutton, I think, is still going to be the primary target in Denver. With Drew Lock hopefully going through his development stage now, hopefully he comes out and does look really well, and hopefully he looks really well throwing the ball to Sutton because that's going to be legit. Devante Parker, been a big Parker fan. I've literally always been a Devante Parker fan ever since like 2 or 3 years ago. The fact that he did what he did against New England in that final game of the season was really exciting. I felt like that was something that was really That was something that was like really unmatched, and I think people wasn't expecting, especially going against Gilmore, who is really one of the best, if not the best corner in the league right now. So for him to do that against Gilmore, I have a lot of expectations for Devante Parker, which I'm pretty sure he has for himself, and the Dolphins have for him as well. So hopefully, once again, Devante Parker shows up and shows out this year. Chris Herndon, high on Chris Herndon last year, got banged up or hurt, or something happened with him, or suspended, some crazy wacky shit, and he ended up missing like a good chunk of the season, like damn near I think the whole season. So hopefully Chris Herndon comes out this year and does really well and looks really good. And then Le'Veon Bell, I'm just a big Le'Veon Bell fan. I like dual threat running backs, especially guys like Le'Veon Bell and David Johnson. They seem to fit that mold. And the same thing can be said for Antonio Gibson as well. He fits that same mold. A guy that can catch the ball. Antonio Gibson is actually an ex-receiver like David Johnson. So like they have that past or that history, and they run the ball very similar. So I like both of those guys. This week 9 and 8, 11, this is killing me. So then I just talked about did I cut my camera off? Okay. I just talked about Gibson. Gibson was a guy that I was definitely excited for. just for the simple fact, like I said. And then Tyler Boyd, I wanted AJ Green if I had a chance, and which has happened multiple times. If I have a chance over AJ or Tyler, I'm taking I'm taking AJ every time. Sorry. And then Mike Gesicki, once again, I fucking went Gesicki. Just thought about that. So now I got Devante Parker and Mike Gesicki. Way too invested into offense. I'm way too invested into an offense that just isn't that good. Like I'm expecting them to be decent, but not that good. All right, so we need one more running back, which I'm not worried about. I do want to get one of these receivers. So these guys, I'm drafting just because I want to, and not because I need to, but because I don't want to have to go play with the waivers. There's some guys like that where I just don't want to mess with the waivers, and I just need them on my roster right now. And so Chase Claypool is definitely that guy for me. I think Chase Claypool is going to be a guy that's going to kill it for the Steelers, and a lot of people are not talking about him. I think he's going to be that beast for them for sure. I said running back. Pretty sure. Oh, nope, there he is. Oh, we might be in trouble. Or is he? Okay, no, he was way down the list. Duke Johnson, Zach Thomas. It was Zach Moss. I want to say Zach Thomas. Josh Kelly. Now, it's between Benny Snell and Josh Kelly. I feel like you're getting the same exact thing. I personally like Josh Kelly over Benny Snell. I think he has a little bit more upside. I'm still a big Benny Snell fan. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Your boy likes him some Benny Snell. But I definitely want to go Josh Kelly here just because I think Josh Kelly is a little bit runner. I think he's a little bit solid runner, and I think he has a chance to Jesus, that thing just gets me every time. But I also think okay. For some reason, I thought I clicked on Benny Snell. But I feel like Josh Kelly has a chance to sneak into the starting lineup over Eckler. Eckler is a good change of pace back. I don't think he's a primary feature back. So that's my personal opinion. Once again, that's just how I feel. I think that, we might see Josh Kelly by week 4, week 5. That's just how I feel. So, all right. So running backs are done at this point. I'm going to probably go. I got 2 more roster spots. So we're probably going to back up quarterback. A lot of defenses have flown off the board. Let's see who's left. So going down to defenses, one of the best defenses, I think, personally, who are probably not going to relinquish that many points, we got the Bears. I seen something about Danielle Hunter and the Vikings. That kind of scares me. So, but I might still mess with the Vikings just for the simple fact that pass rush in Minnesota is going to be vicious, especially if Danielle Hunter's healthy and Unique Ngakoue is there. Unique Ngakoue is there. So those guys are going to be dangerous. I think those guys have a lot of chance to create a lot of sacks and a lot of pressures. So that might be a chance. Jadeveon Clowney just signed with the Titans, so that definitely bolsters their defensive usage there too. But I think the one defense that no one's talking about right now, if any defense, is the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, obviously, but are the Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns defense, let's just go look at that. We've been looking at rosters, so let's go look at the Browns roster. I'll pull up the sleeves. And so the one thing about the Browns roster is I think when you look at their roster, especially defensively, they are tough both from the front end and the back end. Hold on, did my stream freeze? I think my stream froze. 1 second. I'm just up here gabbing. Okay. Yeah, it's lagging his face off. Sorry about that. If you can hear me, sorry. It's lagging his face off. But but I don't think the Browns roster is definitely tough from both front and back end. It's something that people are not talking about. They have an opportunity to be, dare I say, a top 5 offense. Like, now I'm not sure who that coordinator is. Maybe take a look at it while I'm here. But the Browns roster is one of those rosters that I feel like people were talking about it just because like OBJ, Jarvis Landry in their offense, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield. But if we're talking about from a purely defensive standpoint, Myles Garrett alone being reinstated took their defense to a whole nother level. Like I said, just being reinstated. So we got our offense here. Jedrick Wells is at left tackle, which is nice. Joel Bakhtiari, J.C. Treader, Walton Taller. I don't know who that is. Got to look him up. Jack Conklin, definitely one of the best right tackles in the league. I feel like Austin Hooper definitely is legit. Harrison Bryant is definitely another legit tight end. David Njoku. They got a plethora of tight ends, and that's why Njoku wanted out. I don't blame that man. I will want out after that too. Receivers are really kind of sus behind Odell and Jarvis. So we might be looking at a lot of 2 tight end sets there in Cleveland, which wouldn't surprise me at all. And then so we roll down to this defense, though. So we got Myles Garrett, which I just talked about. We got Sheldon Richardson, who's a beast. We got Larry Ogunjobi, I think I said that right, who is legit. Adrian Claiborne, who doesn't, like, nobody talk about, but Adrian Claiborne is a pretty solid pass rusher, especially we're talking about depth purposes. And then we get into the will linebacker, Mac Wilson, who now becomes essentially your your Telvin Smith almost. And then you got B.J. Goodson, who I think is a good sized linebacker. Now, Taki, I'm not too sure on him. I remember they drafted him, I want to say last year, and a lot of people were talking about him. Oh, Olivier Vernon, we didn't talk about him either. Another good edge rusher. But I'm not too sure about him. I would like probably see him in the middle and put B.J. Goodson on the outside. I don't think Taki has that kind of speed, but whatever, case may be. And then we got at the cornerback position, we got Denzel Ward, Kevin Johnson, who's a number 1 pick, and then we got Greedy Williams, who should have been a number 1 pick, and then we got Carl Joseph, who is a legit safety with the Raiders, and then we got Andre Silifulio, I can't fucking say his name, whatever, and then Cedric Redwine, who are some good secondary players as well. I can't say his fucking name to save my life. It's pissing me off. So with the Browns defense, when you look at the Browns defense, it's like the Browns defense is literally loaded from front to back. Like 100%. Like their pass rush is going to make their secondary better, and it's already a good secondary. And then their secondary is going to make their pass rush better, which is already scary. So we know Kevin Stefanski is still there, or not still, but there. Offensively, just I always like to look at this. Alex Van Pelt, Bill Callahan, just some guys, and then like if there's a guy really intriguing to me, I always go through this. And I'm like, all right, Joe Woods. I don't know anything about Joe Woods. Who is Joe Woods? What is his history? Who did he coach under? Like those are things that like I like to know and see. So then I go look that up. I'm like, all right. So this will kind of give you an idea, a really strong idea as far as like what this Browns defense is going to be looking like. Because usually when somebody coaches under someone, they kind of take on that personality of that defensive coordinator or head coach, whatever the case may be. So this kind of gives us an idea as far as like what the Browns defense might look like, right? So we know he's a defensive coordinator, so we found that out. So as a coach, trying to look at some of the teams he coached. So he was with the Browns from 2020 until this year. So he just got there. So look right there. He was with the Niners last year. Defensive back coach and passing game coordinator. You telling me the man that was with one of the best defenses last year is now currently in Cleveland? Okay, exactly. So now this defense has an opportunity to be even better. And then we have him with the Denver Broncos, who did defenses in 2017 and 2018. He was with the Denver Broncos for quite some time. Now, he was the defensive back coach in 2014 with the Raiders. I'm not sure who was there and what was there and how that was going. I have to go back and look that up, but we're not going to get into those details. But that alone, just his last 3 to 4 years tells me enough that this guy is where I need to be. This is where the Browns defense is going to be that much more dangerous. And that's why you need to go with the Browns defense. That alone. Because having that kind of pedigree, coming from that kind of pedigree, now, you're not going to coach with one of the best defenses of last season and then get a defense coordinator job with the talent that he has. Now, if we were to compare talent as far as what he had with the Niners and what he has now with the Browns, the Browns way more talented, both from front and back. I mean, 100% more talented. And so at this point, you just say, okay, well, if I got more talent, now with the scheme fit the same. Now he was Salah, the defensive coordinator, who should have been a head coach or possibly looking at head coaching jobs. Like that defense with the Niners were consistently, progressively in the right way before they got Nick Bosa and everybody. he has the same amount of talent on this roster with the Browns than he had when he was coaching with the Niners last year. So that alone tells me everything I need to know as far as the Browns being a solid defense. They brought him in this year. He's going to implement a new scheme with Larry Ogunjobi in the middle, right? So he's a quality interior pass rusher. And then you got Sheldon Richardson, who's a quality interior pass rusher / run stopper. And then you got Olivia Vernon coming off the other edge, on the other edge being Myles Garrett. Come on, man. Now you got Mac Wilson pretty much playing your, what was it? Would it be? No, it wouldn't be. I want to say Quan Alexander role basically, and you got B.J. Goodson playing your Fred Warner role. I want to say. So like, you got, maybe that's the weak point right there, the linebackers, because the linebacker speed is there. Mac Wilson allows you to do a little bit more because I think he's a very hybrid linebacker, and so he's like the Telvin Smith almost. And so it allows you to do a little bit more. But I think at the end of the day, realistically, like that probably is the weakest spot of that defense. The secondary, I think, is going to make plays. The front four alone is going to make plays, hands down. And so this defense has an opportunity to probably be a top 5 defense. Has the opportunity, probably won't be. I don't know. It's the Browns. They might mess it up. But they have an opportunity to be a top 5 defense, and I think realistically that's the best way to go. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Browns right here. I just made my case. I don't know if I just talked myself into picking the Browns. Like, I've been picking the Browns, but I literally just talked myself into taking the Browns defense. So we got a defense. Now we need a kicker. My boy Justin Tucker got taken, which I want to cry inside. I'm a big Justin Tucker. Like, Justin Tucker's 15 points. And if you could say you can get 15 points out of your kicker, you can't say anything. You can't say nothing. Blankenship just got the job with the Colts. That dude was a pretty good kicker when he was in Georgia. So we're gonna try Blankenship. Now we can go Greg the Leg with the Cowboys and the high octane offense. I mean, shit, can they get over the 50? If they can get to the 40 to 35, we're good. We're in there. So Greg Zuerlein's an option. But for the sake of argument, just for some reason, he's sitting there. He looks good. I'm going to take Blankenship right here. So I'm going to see if that works out for me. Sorry, I had to clean up my phone. Had all these notifications out of nowhere. Fantasy football. We'll see. Sorry, sit-ems. All right, cool. So, what was that? Oh, Blankenship, the kicker. So once we get our kicker, at this point we're playing the depth game. I might go get my other receiver that I want. Yeah, we're gonna go. The next 2 picks are gonna be receiver and then quarterback. And then we're going to be done. We're going to be. So we're going to go Blankenship. Boom. Done. Then we're going to go look at our quarterbacks. Still got some solid quarterbacks on that field. I like Drew Lock a lot. Drew Lock is a guy that, once again, I got Cortland Sutton. I get the double up. Drew Lock starts snapping, start going off. And I got Cortland Sutton. Him and Sutton start snapping and going off. Guess what? Slap them boys back in there, and we in there. We working. We making money. We're making money. I guess in this case we're keeping our money. But yeah, we're definitely doing some stuff, and we're getting crazy. Oh, somebody just took you dirty. You wrong for that, Aaron. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining the league. So yeah, well that was going to be the plan, but July got snatched up. I still got a starting quarterback in Phillip Rivers that I can mess around with. If I had Jonathan Taylor, I'd be even more like inclined to do that and feeling really comfortable with that. Teddy B's there. So I kind of want to match what I already have on my roster just to kind of fill it in. Tyrod Taylor, because I got Joshua Kelly. Tua, I would take Tua before I take Trubisky. Just putting that out there right now. I would take Tua before I take Trubisky. Ooh, Jimmy G. Okay, I see you. So I mean, there's a lot of options here, and we still got some good quarterbacks to the lane. I'm probably gonna try to get my guy, see if he's still there. Oh, somebody took Joe. Joe Burrow. Okay, I see you, Joe. What's they going to do? My brain. Oh, while we wait, this draft is coming to an end. And so while we wait to our pick, we're gonna go look up our Chiefs roster. So we're gonna look up the Chiefs roster. We've been looking up everybody else's stuff. So let's go look up these Chiefs. So with the Chiefs, like I said, offensively, we already know what we are. Like we don't need to worry about anything offensively. Like dare I say or need I say more, Chiefs offense like automatically makes you the best team in the league when you have one of the best players in the league on your roster. Now the thing is what do we surround them with? What do we pit around? What do we pit around them? So this is probably unofficial, but so we have excuse me. So we have Patrick Mahomes. Woo. No, I'm joking. So, but starting at left tackle, we got Eric Fisher, who's been steady. It's so funny because I was probably one of the biggest Eric Fisher's haters, and then when he was out for majority of the season last year, I was like, I miss Eric Fisher. Like now I see, and the thing is with tackles, they always say that or with offensive linemen in general, they always say that you'll know when they're doing bad. Like you shouldn't know offensive lineman's name. Because if you know their name, they're doing bad, and it's like okay, and so for the longest time I thought Eric Fisher was bad, but Eric Fisher was just steady. Like that was it. He was just consistent and steady, and so that having him at left tackle now healthy makes me feel good. And then we got Kelechi Osemele, who is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite guard in the league right now. Like Quentin Nelson is nice. Don't get me wrong, Quentin Nelson is really nice, but Kelechi Osemele is underrated. That dude was a killer in Baltimore, went to the Raiders, had probably one of the best rushing attacks when he was with the Raiders. And now he's here in Kansas City. And for 1 year, I'm happy with that. Now, center position is kind of up in the air for me, but they clearly see some in Austin Ryder. So I feel like center is something that I wish we could have did a little bit better there. And then Andrew Wiley, I think that was a guy last year that they were high on, but I think he ended up tearing his ACL or something. Might be wrong on that. Probably should know this being a Chiefs fan, but I think it was either Wiley or Ryder. But one of those guys they were really, really excited for, and they ended up getting hurt. And I want to say it was Wiley. And then Mitchell Schwartz, top 5 left. No, not left tackle. I was not ready for that. But top 5 right tackle in the league, right? So, go ahead and get on board Gardner Minshew. No, not that. Hold on. That might happen pretty fast. We'll wait. So, but Mr. Schwartz really is probably one of the best right tackles in the league, if not, like I said, top 5. And I think he's right there with Lane Johnson. You think about Jack Conklin, you think about Mitchell Schwartz. Like, those guys are consistent, steady, better than steady right tackles and guys that you can always rely on doing their job. La'el Collins is definitely in the mix as well as one of the right tackles. But Mitchell Schwartz is easily probably the best right tackle in the league. And then Travis Kelce, who is easily the best tight end in the league. I'm not even biased right now. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Easily the best tight end in the league. I think he has one of the best complete games in the league that nobody talks about, but it's there. He can block. He can do all that good shit. He's a legit tight end. And then looking at the wide receivers, we still got Sammy Watkins. I think Tyreek Hill was starting at 1. So we got Tyreek Hill, then we got Watkins, and then Mecole Hardman, DeMarcus Robinson. Receivers are definitely there. Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins and Mecole alone gives you a lot of chance to win. DeMarcus Robinson has shown flashes last year of being a legit receiver. Then Patrick Mahomes, like I said, woo. No, I'm joking. But we got Patrick Mahomes. We already know what that's going to be. Now, this is the part what kind of throws me off. A lot of people are – let me make this last pick. And Go get my guy Laviscus Chenault. If I can scroll. There he is. Laviscus Chenault. I'm excited for that. I'm pumped for that. Okay, and that's going to conclude our draft. That was a good draft. We're going to come back. We're going to review the team, but we're going to finish with the Chiefs roster first. And so Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that's one guy or one position of the running back position that I personally see is up in the air, but a lot of people see it as being secure and like confirmed and firm. I don't see it with Clyde Edwards. Not saying I don't like him, just I'm not sure how consistent or how clean we are right there. Right? Like I don't know if we are that good. And I'm not saying we were even better last year, but I'm just not sure. I guess the unknown scares me. Like if we had a preseason game and I seen him shake some draws off some people, then I would have been okay with it. But we didn't have a preseason, so yeah. And then we get to the defense side of the ball, and this is what I was talking about with the defense side of the ball. For one, Tano Compasio, I can't fucking say his name to save my life, but I don't know what that is. I would rather see Alec Okafor at that spot. I would rather see Alec Okafor at that spot because I feel like Alec Okafor is a little bit better run stopper. But like I said, they know something I don't, and Pasio clearly is a guy that they feel confident in, and maybe he's took those strides. Chris Jones, obviously probably one of the top 5 best interior pass rushers right now. And then we got Derek Nandi, who I'm not really excited for. I really like Kalen Saunders, and I would like to see Saunders in that position. And then this Tershawn Wharton dude, I just looked him up. That dude is interesting. Okay, that guy is interesting. So I feel like Derek Nandi eventually could lose his starting job. That's just my personal opinion. That's just how I look, but maybe, who knows. And then we got Frank Clark, and we already know that's a good edge rusher who can set the edge and run stop in the game. Set the edge in a run game and also get up the field and get the passer. God, they didn't want to come out. And then Taco Charlton, I think, is a guy that he's still trying to find his way, right? Like, he's still trying to find his way and find his career. Hopefully he found a home here. And then we move to the linebackers, which is clearly the weakest spot in this team. The weakest spot. We got Anthony Hitchens, who didn't play. Like, he barely played in the Super Bowl, bro. And now he's a starting linebacker. Like, that's not telling us much right there. And then we got Damian Wilson. And then we got Willie Gay, who I'm fucking pumped for. Oh, my God. I can't wait to get his autograph. Matter of fact, my best friend got me this helmet for my birthday. And he's like, oh, now you got to get an autograph. And the first name that came to my mind was Willie Gay Jr. Like, I got to get this thing right here, autographed by Willie Gay. That's my hopes and dreams right now. And so hopefully that happens, because if that happens, then I'm gonna be pumped. Like, Willie Gay is gonna be a beast. I feel like he's gonna be good as long as he stay out of trouble. That was probably one of his biggest things coming out of college, is that he was always in trouble. So if he stays out of trouble, we're good. And so that's the linebackers. Now the second weakest spot of this team is the secondary. Moving down, we see Travaris Ward, who I thought was actually going to take the next step, but I feel like he kind of plateaued a little bit last year. And so hopefully he has an opportunity to be a legit starting corner. And this is going to be a chance to show that he could, especially with Bashar Breeland being out. He's going to take that step. Rashad Fent, I know what to expect from him. I'm not going to lie. That's a lot of unknown there. And then Antonio Hamilton, once again, a lot of unknown there. I'm not sure. As far as LaJarvis Sneed is not at that position. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect from our corners. That scares me. That's what scares me the most about this team, is our secondary. And then our secondary with the lack of run-stopping ability as well. And then our safeties, I'm surprised Daniel Sorensen is getting a starting spot over Juan Thornhill, but Juan Thornhill is probably still nursing a knee, so they're trying to play that slow. And then Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, like, that's our third, I would say at least our second best player on defense, right? So, like, Chris Jones, probably Tyrann Mathieu, then Frank Clark. Like, those are our 3 best players. And then Willie Gay. Willie Gay is going to be number 4. I can't wait to see him play. So, looking at our defense, though, defensively, I'm really scared from the linebackers back. A front 4, I think it can take care of itself, and they're going to do what they need to. But our linebackers and then our secondary, I just don't. It's too much unknown, and unknown scares the fuck out of me, especially when you're talking about probably one of the most crucial parts of the fucking field, being in the secondary. That's going to be a lot of confusion. Hopefully there's no confusion there. Not like I'm getting anxiety thinking about this secondary getting carved up tomorrow night, actually, against Brandon Cooks and Kenny Stills and Will Fuller. Like, it's going to be bad. It's going to be scary. Oh, it's going to be so scary. I don't know what to expect there. So, but that's the Chiefs defense. Like I said, I take the Chiefs in this situation just because I feel like the Chiefs have an opportunity to really take things to the next level. Their offense, if that offense gets the ball back off one mistake by Washington, still have some picks to figure out from auto draft. However, great draft, everyone. Looking forward to this season. So like, yeah, I'm just worried about what that's going to look like as far as our secondary goes, and what could possibly happen with guys like Brandon Cooks running free, Kenny Stills, and Will Fuller. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. I don't know. We're gonna wait and see. Real quick, we're gonna go down my roster and torch my shit. Uh, definitely pumped with my team. Oh, hold on one second. One second. Now, like, it's so crazy. Now everyone's hitting me up saying, "Oh yeah, I'm ready," and I had a dang it. Like, so many people are excited to want to play now, and this just blows my mind. Okay. Um. So Carson Wentz felt really good about that. Miles Sanders felt good about that. Talked about that. David Johnson, everybody. We went down all that. Like, we already know. We already know all that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fast forward to right now the Joshua Kelly pick. I told you guys about that. The Gardner Minshew. I'm really excited for the Jaguars. Somebody actually tweeted me, and I've been contemplating it, and I want to answer him before kickoff tomorrow. That he bet me $500 on Twitter that the Jacksonville Jaguars will finish in the bottom 3 of the league. And I don't think they will. Like, I really don't think they will. And it's one of those things where I put my money where my mouth is. Do I feel that confident in my abilities? I do. Do I think the Jaguars can finish bottom 3? I don't. I don't see that. That's going to be a good team. And now I picked up Laviska Shenault for the same reason. I think that's just going to be a good team. And I think he's going to be a guy that's going to wind up taking shit to the next level, and nobody's going to expect it. I'm hoping for him and Chase Claypool. I hope for it, but we'll see. Like, I could be wrong. My bench is very sus with a lot of upside, a lot of unknown with a lot of upside, and we'll have to wait and see what happens on my bench. I don't know. Kind of nervous. As long as Carson Wentz stays healthy, we're good though. We're in there. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys. This draft. I'm glad if anybody is still watching, anybody that was from the draft watching, I appreciate you guys drafting. This is exciting. I'm excited. Football's tomorrow. We're going to be doing these live stream every Wednesday, 5:30. I was late today, unfortunately. 5:30 every Wednesday, we're going to do these live streams. We're going to talk about what happened in the previous week, and we're going to talk about what happened in the upcoming week. And we're going to talk about some of our games of the week. If you guys got any comments or want to talk about anything, hit me up in the comment section below. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm always ready to talk and chit chat football. That's just what I do. I could talk football literally for hours. Like, if I didn't have to work tomorrow, we'll probably run this stream for another smooth hour and a half. But I got to work tomorrow, so got to go pay bills. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you.